Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And for the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing a movie that's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, 2016, which is, of course, the 1986 film, The Color of Money, starring Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Say that name 5 times. Of course, this movie is, I think it's kind of, you could say it's a kind of like a forgotten sequel. Because this movie does take place, is the sequel to the 1961 movie The Hustler, of course starring Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. But unfortunately, I have not really fully seen that from The Hustler. I was showing you like bits and pieces. But The Color of Money, I actually saw it, and it's currently being replayed constantly on HBO, at least lately. So I figured, hey, do a review of The Color of Money. Like I said earlier, it is the sequel to The Hustler, which of course takes place 25 years after the original movie. And once again, it shows Paul Newman as Fast Eddie, a poor hustler, who, in 25 years since the incidents that took place in the actual movie The Hustler, he was like a beer dispute. He sells beer, beer and booze and alcohol, and he's in the distribution of booze. So he pretty much gave up playing pool and hustling people for pool because the pool game was like starting to die out, and you know, it wasn't the same like it was in 1961 when he played Minnesota Fats, which was played by Jackie Gleason in the original movie. So after that, he pretty much, gave up on it, until, of course, he goes into a pool hall and he sees this young guy named Vincent, played by Tom Cruise, as a young, arrogant, cocky, doesn't give a shit, young pool hustler, and that got Fast Eddie's juices flowing. And then Tom Cruise realized who this guy was, and know there was, it was Fast Eddie. He played Minnesota Fats. It was a pool hustler like he is, and to have a legend like a pool hustling legend like Fast Eddie teaching him the ropes, I figured, hey, this would be cool. This would be great. But unfortunately, the two characters eventually had a falling out, because he didn't feel that Paul Newman, Fast Eddie, didn't feel that Vincent wasn't listening to anything he says, and because he's so cocky and arrogant and stuff like that, and Vincent feels like, hey, you decided to teach me the ropes, and I feel like I'm ready to hustle guys for money. And Paul Newman says, look, you have to do it the way that I used to do it, and it will, then you'll make some real big money on hustling pool. And meanwhile, when Tom Cruise was making money, like a few $100 here, or maybe $1,000 there, but Paul Newman would have built it up slowly until, of course, you eventually get not to lose. That's even $500. Well, Vincent will lose like $800 before he wins $500, so he loses money because of his cocky attitude. He said, look, you want to win $800, not $500. To win $500 while you're losing $800. That type of thing. And there's one particular scene where Fast Eddie actually the hustler actually gets hustled, and he was so bummed out and so pissed off that he got hustled. And Tom Cruise says, look, Eddie, it can happen to anybody. Unfortunately, it happened to you. It's happened to me. It happened to anybody. Anybody can get hustled. And he says, yeah, but I should have seen the signs. I can't believe I got hustled by this guy. And I should have had him. And of course, what happened is they found out that they were doing all these hustles or hustling pool in the various pool holes to earn money to pay his big pool tournament in Atlantic City. Which, of course, they eventually do go there after they cut ties in their relationship. They both end up going to Atlantic City, and of course, only something that happens in the movies happened in this thing, and that was that, of course, there was a quarterfinal match between Tom Cruise and Paul Newman. So it's like the student playing off the teacher. But unfortunately, Tom Cruise loses to Paul Newman. Now, spoiler, for those of you who have never seen the movie, he loses to Paul Newman. But unfortunately, you find out in a scene after that match, where Paul Newman has his fancy cool stick, he puts it in his case, goes out of the hotel, and goes, yes, pointing, saying, oh, I can't believe they beat him. And he thought that he beat Tom Cruise legit, that the balls in that game rolled Paul Newman's way. But later on, he found out that Tom Cruise took a dive, or Vincent took a dive. It was paid $16,000 or thereabouts to take a dive. Because people bet, because actually, of course, gambling is legal in Atlantic City, of course, and he says that they took a dive so Paul Newman could advance in this pool tournament. He said, hey, there'll be other tournaments and stuff like that. And Paul Newman got mad at him. I said, hey, I wanted to beat you in your best game, and you didn't play your best because you took a dive. And he said, yeah, but I take a couple balls, 4 or 5 balls to make it look legit. I played well first, and then I took a dive. I said, but that's not right. I just want, if I want to beat somebody, I want to beat them at their best, not because they took a dive. And so what happened was, when Paul Fastidiousdy played his next match, the semifinal match, he decided to forfeit. And because it was implied in the movie that they was his age is catching up with him. I mean, his health is kind of failing a little bit. His eyes, that's what, most of the movie, you see Paul Newman wearing this dark sunglasses because his eyes is not as good as they used to be, and is getting old. And actually, of course, he's 25 years older. And it's kind of implied that he's not as, Paul Newman wasn't as young as he used to be. So he, and also he didn't like the fact that he got there because Tom Cruise, Vincent, took a dive. He didn't like the fact that he advanced because the other guy took a dive, because he wants to beat people, in the best game. He wants to play somebody, and his opponent, he didn't think it was right that he advanced because the other guy took a dive for him. They felt sorry for him, and they was his teacher, he liked him, and took a dive. So what he did was, Paul Newman decided to forfeit, and he gave back the money to Tom Cruise's character. And of course, at the end of the movie, Tom Cruise says to him, hey, got mad at Paul Newman for having the nerve to forfeit. I said, what the hell did you forfeit for? And Paul Newman says, look, I want to beat you at your best. And I say, hey, I did the best I could against you. I said, no, you didn't, because you took a dive. I said, so they're at another pool hole, in a pool hall. And he says, hey, just you and me, let's play legit. Paul Newman says, okay. And of course, the last night in the movie was him breaking the billiard balls, and he says, I'm back, baby. Boom. And he shot us, I'm back, baby. And that's how the movie ends. And of course it was, in decency, thankfully they didn't make another sequel after this. But like I said earlier, this movie earned Paul Newman his only Academy Award win, which is hard to believe that with all the great roles that Paul Newman had in his very long career, from Butch Cassidy to The Sting to another movie I previously reviewed, Exodus, where he was in. He was very good in that film. The only movie that he ever won an Academy Award, he was nominated for The Hustler. When that came out, he was also nominated. I think he was also nominated for. I think it was his sequel named Desire, and another great roles Paul Newman had during his long career. And the only time he ever won an Oscar was for the sequel to The Hustler. I think it's maybe because of his whole career, kind of like what they did with Al Pacino, because they gave him an award for one of his, well, it was one of his trademark roles, but because they stiffed him up, in the Godfather films, they gave Al Pacino, and for Serpico and other films, they gave Al Pacino an Oscar for Scent of a Woman, and not for his earlier body of work. And that's what they did with Paul Newman. Instead of giving him like an honorary Oscar, to give him, let's give him the Oscar for this year for The Color of Money. And that's what he did. And of course, 1986 was also a great year for Tom Cruise, because knowing that he started against Paul Newman, a Hollywood legend, and Paul Newman in The Color of Money, he also his blockbuster film Top Gun, which I previously reviewed, also came out that year in '86. So it was a big year for both these actors, and it was at the early point of Tom Cruise's career that he starred with his Hollywood legend really early on in his career. I mean, it was extremely early in his career that he only had like a handful of movies under his belt at that time. Tom Cruise did, and he started with a Hollywood legend and Paul Newman. And of course, later on, 2 years later, he started with another Hollywood legend, Dustin Hoffman, and Rain Man, which I've also previously reviewed. So check those videos out of mine if you didn't haven't yet. And of course, you had Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, and you do see her naked in this movie, which I didn't remember her. That you're seeing her naked or wearing just a bra, not even wearing a bra, wearing a shirt, and you could tell that she wasn't wearing a bra, and you saw a little boobie there. Because remember, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio was not doing the type of work where she shows a lot of skin. I'm not saying she wasn't good in this movie. She's usually good in her roles. Because I saw her in Class Action, I saw her in Perfect Storm, of course in Law and Order, Criminal Intent. She was in a few episodes of that show. But to see her as a young actress playing off against Tom Cruise, playing with Tom Cruise, or acting with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman, I mean, it was really a lucky break for her that she got cast in this role, and it was a lucky break for her that she starred in this role, and because she was very, very good in this movie. All three main actors were, and I felt it's a watchable movie if you like Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. Like I said, this is the only movie the two of them starred together is this one, and if you like The Hustler, you're gonna like this movie. Or if you like any Paul Newman movie, really, you're gonna like this film as well. So that's my review of the movie The Color of Money. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages, on Twitter, and wherever else. You can also check out my videos not only on my YouTube channel, but at rallyc.com. That's all WDY. And then C.com. It's the homepage of the Rally Reviewer, Chris D. Moore. Please check out all of his content on his website, not just his TV trash videos, but all of the other people who contribute to his website as well. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.